Hey guys, welcome back to Beardman Comics. In this episode of Nail It with Beardman, I'll take a step back and remember the time when I used to breathe unadulterated fresh air. As I live in one of the most crowded and polluted cities on earth, I have grown on to appreciate some decent air quality, chances of which is, ambitiously speaking, almost a moonshot. But that doesn't stop an artist to recreate such scenario, right? Especially in the time of the year where everything feels October, which is the synonym of the word perfect in my books. So instead of just blabbering about it, I'll try to illustrate the same feelings on today's artwork. Let's start with the background first. This time I'll keep the sky low-key and use it to set the temperature of this artwork at about 20 degrees. In contrast to this warm October evening, I use a colder shade of blue for the tarmac. If you look closely, you'll see that I'm using different hues of the deep blue color on the road down there. These slight differences give some instant life and texture to this artwork. As you already know, I'm refraining from this addiction of putting so many details on my artworks, which later on turned out to be pointless, but still I find myself doing this sometimes, as in this case, where I'm painting a bunch of trees to medal the setting sun, while the ones on the other side gets a gentle trim. Speaking of trimming, here's a sped up shot of myself trimming the body fat of mine over a period of... Anyway, say hi to the skinny version of me. After I've taken a deep breath, I voyage to finish the background, starting with the distant buildings behind the subject, followed by a gentle texture to the road. Once done, I move on to my favorite part of this artwork, drawing the tiny cars. But before I zoom in, I will introduce a new Procreate 5X feature to my workflow, the reference. I'll put it up here, no, up there. Those who doesn't know a lot about digital art, Procreate is the drawing software that I'm using right now, and 5X is the latest update to this app. The reference is nothing but a tiny version of this artwork which will change in real time with every stroke I make. Hence it comes handy when I'm super zoomed in to draw tiny cars such as these. I use a lighter tone of blue color and start painting the truck up front. And as discussed in the earlier artworks about shiny things reflecting its surroundings, the roof gets a brighter, much warmer color compared to the rest of the truck. While being heavily reliant on a negative space, this is how I paint a car. Just a few brush strokes and it's indistinguishable from a real hatchback. I apply the same formula to the school bus that is returning to the depot, and trailing it is a fleet of cars, to which I won't bother detailing because number one, they are far away, and secondly, they are yet to chase the sunset. Mind it, they are not done yet. There's one more thing that I'll show you after I'm done making the scene more realistic. And how do I do that? By painting another car, of course, this time with a little more details to the roof, windshield and other parts that are visible. Once done, I move on to put some details to the small building on the roadside, followed by protective railing on the flyover, the rods of which will attract sunlight and bounce it back. So gladly I paint a hint of orange sunlight and top it off with symmetrical wires. You will have to look very closely while I paint the back of this hoarding, but instead of straining your eyes on hundreds of brush strokes resulting in nothing, look at these tiny dots responsible to bring the piece alive. I choose a bright yellow color and start pouring these tiny perfect dumplings on the respective slots before it is done. Oh man, this looks delicious. Exquisite actually. Shh, not a narcissist. Oh, I had completely forgotten the power lines. Let me take care of that. Alright, now proceed to paint the subject. Here I'll break myself into two parts, metaphorically, the face and the rest of the body. And as you already know, I find drawing faces very intimidating, so naturally I start with the rest of the body, starting with a t-shirt, to which I put some creases with a hint of sun shining on it, while making sure that I don't overdo it. As the light will only be visible on the edges, just like what I did to the neck and the arm, the choices of meats of Hannibal Lecter from The Silence of the Lambs. Putting that thought aside, this is how I look when the line work is off, just another faceless person from Bly Manor. Too many references. I zoom in to give some texture to the hair with bright orange color reflecting the sunlight, then I put some shadows and highlight to the neck to establish the Adam's apple, followed by a brighter tone to the ear to make it more translucent. Justifying how vivid the sunlight is, I dazzle the other side of the body before I proceed to paint the face, which is frankly a hit or a miss. Mostly I witness my confidence getting shattered while doing it, but luckily that's not the case today, I mean until now. As discussed in the 5th episode, I consider every protrusion as different geometric shapes, and I bring them to life by adding shadows and highlights. As most of the face is not exposed to the sunlight, there is not much scope of detail, so after I've made a pointed nose, a shiny forehead and a lower lip, I paint a few bright streaks of curly hair before I rest my case. Wait a second, how did I miss the glare? I draw two ovals, fill them with bright colors, reduce the opacity to half, distort them in a steep 12-degree angle, and voila, we are done. Boy oh boy, this piece turned out pretty nice. The air seems clean enough despite of so many vehicles on the road. The sky is basic enough to set the temperature, and at the same time it's not being too overwhelming. I can proudly say that this patch looks very real with the right reflections, and I would even confuse this car with a real one. I also love the details on both the railings. The only downside I could think of are the trees. The shape seems homogeneous and perhaps they are brighter than I would have liked them to be, but the buildings turn out really nice. As it's getting dark, most of the elements don't even pop out, such as the road and the hoarding. Let's talk about the vehicles a little bit. I think I've nailed it again. The ones in the proximity are reflecting the sky, while the far away ones make sure of their attendance with the tiny lights. Moving on to the subject, the perspective and the angles are on point, and the t-shirt is adequately affected by the sunlight, but the creases could have been better though. I have no complaints about the arm, and I'm proud how the neck turned out. I even like the curls on the hair, while the ear is rather off-putting, and the face looks swollen as if I was attacked by a group of junkies or honeybees. Having said that, I have made my point here with the gesture. I really seem to be in the moment and in the perfect high while breathing fresh air. Speaking of fresh air, Diwali is right around the corner, and firecrackers does exactly the opposite thing than what I'm trying to convey here. So if possible, have a firecracker free Diwali and make this scene a reality. Thanks for watching. Happy Diwali.